Every business at one stage wants to find a solution around low profits, lack of growth, staff retention and client satisfaction. Hi, I'm Lisa Sin, Client Success Manager at Real Estate Dynamics. We help property management businesses build, buy and sell through our rent roll coaching, property management training and business brokerage right across Australia. Recently, we sent Dean Yeo, one of our leading rent roll and agency brokers, to Aire on the Gold Coast. We had Dean ask 8 industry professionals what problems they solve for their customers and found out how you can identify these symptoms in your business before they become a real problem. Here's Dean.
Hi everyone, Dean from Real Estate Dynamics, and today I've got Ian Camley from Aire, which is getaire.com.au. What does Aire do and why should we care?
So Aire is, we're a company that's pushing the boundaries on artificial intelligence and applications in real estate.
Yep.
So we've created what we're calling the first digital employee in Australasia. Rita is her name, so I'm Rita's dad.
Yes. So Rita's dad, okay.
Yes, I'm Rita's dad, and my co-founder of Sarah is Rita's mum.
Yep.
And Rita is now just under 9 months old. So she's growing up so fast. She's learning to do a lot more things. Why shouldn't you care? Look, the industry's got an enormous amount of data.
Yes.
But it's hidden away in their own systems and CRMs and they're just not leveraging it properly. So what we've built is an AI-powered automation platform. It helps people use data better to create better relationships and more opportunities. We also so Rita has skills, we call them skills.
Yeah.
A skill is a capability. So, one example of Rita's capability is she can send you a list of who she thinks you should talk to today, and what she thinks you should say.
Which is pretty amazing when you think about it,
Yeah.
But I really like the point that you made, and quite often I say, well, what is it that you do to help solve problems for customers? And is some of that of what you do, like the customer doesn't even know they've got a problem because they're not utilising the data, or they don't know what their data is, or?
I think every agency knows that they've got data that they don't use properly.
Yep.
So there's two ways. I mean, we talk about productivity at the end of the day, and productivity is a mix of efficiency and output.
Yep.
So when you think about how Rita's helping, what she does by telling you who to talk to and what to say every day, she takes away all the inefficiency, all the pre and post admin that goes along with an effective prospecting strategy.
Yeah.
So all that work, right? Well, and it's not just the work. I mean, that's half the reason why people don't do it. It's because they got to think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is really, it's fed to you. Like here it is, and you can work from, and it's quality.
Yeah.
Here's who you should talk to, and the quality of the people, and what you should say, so to speak.
Yeah, well, we do what we call a campaign at once. So it's a personalised message, and it's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
So if you kind of push past the myth of AI and try and simplify it, AI is really about prediction.
Yeah.
And so all of the tools in our toolkit is about predicting things. So those lists are predictions of people that we think, or suggestions, predictions of people who we think you should talk to today.
Yep.
Predictions without action are useless.
Useless, yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
And also predictions always need judgment. So, we're not about displacing the human. What we're about is supporting them in being more productive.
Which is a really good point, because I want to hone in on that, because I had an example whereby we talked, and a separate issue to this, but we talked about outsourcing. And I talked to someone that actually put on some outsourcing, and their staff were really anxious about it. Am I going to lose my job? When really what happened was they went out and did all these inspections, came back in at the end of the day, and instead of having to write up all the reports, they had already emailed those as they were doing the inspections, and they were done offshore back, so that they could just send the reports and do what it was and get on the phone to those Mr. Landlords. So that's hence what you're talking about as far as automating that side of it and getting the quality interactions of those employees.
Yeah. We call it a blended resource strategy.
Yep.
So when you think about it, it's never going to be just robots, and it's never going to be just humans. It hasn't been just humans for so long. right? If you think about the evolution of technology, it has displaced some of the roles that used to exist in the past. So the role of a bank teller now is not to just dispense cash. It's to offer other products, to be creative problem solver, to add customer experience. So blended resources, we see it, and we see a lot of people offshoring now, which is totally okay.
Do you compete with that, or are you separate?
A little bit. So there's some crossover. We call it bot sourcing. So take for example what we call a lost opportunity service. So we break down what Aire can do into skills and we bundle them into services. So just like you were going to go hire someone. You're going to go hire someone. So there's a service that we call lost opportunity alerts. So what Aire will do is she'll monitor the marketplace. She'll look at every new piece of stock that comes to market for sale or rent, cross-reference that against your database, and alert you to when you have that somebody who either owns or lives property at that address. A lot of people are using VAs to do that work today. So that's an example where, obviously a robot is much more efficient at doing that. So Aire does that in real time. But that doesn't mean that the VA can't be used elsewhere. So perhaps the VA
is reassigned to something.
It can I don't know, do something a bit more complex, or perhaps she can augment that service in whatever needs. I mean, the fact is that most people are sending very robotic processes to offshore resources today. I think that will change. So obviously robots will take over more of that, and then the offshore resources will kind of have to evolve in terms of their capability and their value to augment that. And then you have the people locally that are closest to the consumer that will add the final touch
to it.
So this is what's going to happen. We're going to see a migration of resource from human to digital over time.
There was a short video of about a minute that was done recently in LinkedIn, and it talked about how that the virtual in that space, the robots and whatever words you want to use, that they're going to take over that percentage of it, and then the humans are going to turn around and talk about creativity, curiosity, storytelling, and empathy. Those were the key things that humans should be doing, and all the rest of it, then outsource that, whether it's in a VA space or whether it's into business, like whichever way that is. But that's the way it's going to happen, and whether you get with it or not is because Tom Ferry talked about it on a number of occasions of what should be happening, and really that you need to be embracing the change. So if you want, get aire.com.au. I'll also put his link as far as on the LinkedIn. So got any questions, give Ian a call. Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Lisa Sin at Real Estate Dynamics. We help businesses build, buy and sell through our rent roll coaching, property management training and business brokerage services right across Australia.